Area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Derek Martinez. We have breaking news at the 5:30 hour. Here's Ryan Prosick with the latest.
Earlier today, it has been reported to WYLN News that several area newspapers have been sold. Times Shamrock Communications newspaper group, which includes the Times Tribune, the Citizen's Voice, the Republican Herald, and the Standard Speaker, has been sold to the Colorado-based Media News Group as of today, August 31st. The sale also includes the company's weekly and periodic publications, commercial printing operations, Absolute Distribution Incorporated, and Times Shamrock Creative Services. However, the sale excludes billboard businesses, Times Shamrock Radio, and the Scranton Times building. We spoke with board chair of Times Shamrock, William Goodspeed, who said the transaction did not occur overnight.
This is a very complicated transaction because of all the different, not only all the different newspapers, but the property, real estate, the printing press, and all that. So there was a lot involved. So it took quite a number of months.
We reached out to Media News Group for comment, but have not yet heard back. However, Goodspeed told us a little bit about the company.
They're a consolidator. They roll up newspapers. As you probably know, newspaper industry has been suffering. Even the big, huge papers are having trouble. And they've developed a management model that allows newspapers to survive. And so that's probably why they're buying papers when a lot of people are selling papers.
In a Facebook post, Times Shamrock shareholder Sharon Lynette expressed her disappointment with the sale of the company by saying, quote, "We feel it is important to express our personal dissatisfaction with the sale of Times Shamrock Newspaper and Media News Group, a subsidiary of Alden Capital. This was a transaction we do not support or endorse. Alden does not reflect the business principles we feel are consistent with the stewardship of any newspaper." We reached out to each of the 4 local newspapers impacted by the sale. The Republican Herald declined comment. The Times Tribune and Citizen's Voice directed our WYLN journalist to Goodspeed. The Standard Speaker directed our journalist to CEO Jim Lewandowski, whose office also directed us to Goodspeed. When we asked Goodspeed about how the sale will affect the local newspapers, he said that it would be up to the new owners.
It's really up to the new owners what they do, but I imagine they will continue on with the same, type of content, the same formats. But it as you know, it's up to them. But I'm sure they wouldn't buy something just to, radically minimize. But again, that's just speculation.
There will be more information as this story develops. For WYLN News, I'm Ryan Prosick.
In other news, a man has been arrested by Williamsport City Police on human trafficking charges. According to police, Victor Eugene Booth has been arrested for alleged involvement in a case of 2 minors being groomed to perform sexual acts. Jennifer Lynn Gibbs and Alan Arthur Frazier were also previously arrested and charged in the investigation. According to officers, Booth admitted in an interview that the 2 juveniles were to be trafficked for money and drugs. Booth is currently locked up in Lycoming County Prison for lack of $125,000 bail. Anyone with information regarding the case is asked to contact Benjamin Heitzman at 570-327-7595. Hazleton City Police were dispatched to the West Walnut Street Dollar General on Wednesday for reports of a stolen vehicle. A witness at the scene described the suspect as a Hispanic male wearing a black hoodie, blue-tinted sunglasses, and a COVID mask. Following an investigation, officers determined that Terrence Belt had allegedly stolen the vehicle and driven it to a nearby garage. Belt was also discovered to be in possession of suspected heroin or fentanyl. Belt has been arrested and is currently locked up at the Luzerne County Correctional Facility. A man arrested by Pocono Township Police on Tuesday has been charged after he allegedly tried to strangle his girlfriend. Police say they were called to the parking lot of the Old Pocono Manor Inn after a passerby heard a woman screaming from the direction of the vehicle. When an officer arrived on scene, he observed Carlos Chaparro Hernandez and his girlfriend get into the vehicle and try to leave. According to the officer, the female was crying and had sustained injury to her neck and face. Hernandez has been charged with strangulation, simple assault, and harassment. He is currently locked up in the Monroe County Correctional Facility. Photos of the suspect in an armed robbery in Schuylkill County have been released. A man robbed the Shepton's Mini Mart on Center Street in Shepton on Monday, August 28th, around 9:15 p.m. The man reportedly was carrying a small handgun when he demanded money from the cash register. He then made the workers get in the walk-in cooler and then fled the scene with about $700 in cash. The suspect was also then reportedly seen fleeing the scene north on foot towards Hazel Township. If you have any information on the suspect, you are asked to call the Pennsylvania State Police in Frackville at 570-874-5300. 3 women have been accused of attacking a 14-year-old girl. Police say 3 women assaulted the girl on a porch on the 500 block of New Street in Scranton. Samantha Jones, 34, Sierra Fulton, 38, and Michelle Gardner, 30, were all arrested after the assault, which left the victim with 4 knocked-out teeth. Investigators later discovered that the victim occasionally looked after Fulton's children. Fulton told officers the victim was disrespectful to her kids. All 3 women involved in the assault faced aggravated assault, simple assault, disorderly conduct, and harassment charges, and are jailed at Lackawanna County Prison for failure to post $50,000 bail. 2 men have been charged after a fight at the Mohegan, Pennsylvania casino this past weekend. According to the Plains Township Police Department, officers were called to the casino around 12 a.m. for a reported fight. A 45-year-old male from Clarks Green and a 29-year-old male from Nanticoke were placed in custody stemming from the incident. The cause of the fight is currently unknown, but the 2 men have been charged with disorderly conduct in connection with the reported casino fight. A man has been arrested after he purchased numerous guns illegally. Charges have been filed against Cesar Hiciano Rivera after he made several purchases of firearms for convicted felons and people that are not allowed to purchase a firearm themselves. Rivera was arraigned on August 30th and is behind bars at the Luzerne County Correctional Facility after being unable to post bail. The investigation was conducted by the Luzerne County District Attorney's Office and several area police departments. Coming up on WYLN News, we learn more about the upcoming Weatherly Hill Climb. Plus, PennDOT urges Pennsylvania residents to celebrate responsibly this Labor Day weekend. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
My name is Riley. It's going to be sunny.
Weather Kids is brought to you by Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton. Your health deserves a partner.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
F&L Doors, your trusted overhead door supplier, for over 50 years providing quality products and service to Eastern PA and beyond with 2 strategic locations. They carry top brand manufacturers and guarantee parts and service for your home or business. From new construction to replacement doors, inspections and service calls, F&L Doors stands behind every job, taking pride in the work they do. Call 800-344-DOOR, visit F&L Doors online at fldoors.com or visit their showrooms in Hazel Township and Schuylkill Haven.
Always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Have you ever experienced that super pushy salesperson who follows you all around? Not here.
Or wandered around that big box store looking for help in the appliance department only to find the pink guy? Not here.
And we have an experienced, courteous sales staff here to help you find the perfect mattress, piece of furniture, or appliance with no pressure.
And don't forget, everyday low prices.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Hello, I'm WYLN historian Chris Fulmer. Pennsylvania's communities are filled with interesting history. Come with me as we discover the people, events, industries, and other historic facets of local towns.
Welcome back to WYLN News. With September right around the corner, many Weatherly residents are looking forward to seeing the Weatherly Hill Climb back in town. The event is scheduled for Saturday, September 16th and Sunday, September 17th, with the racing running from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on both days. We spoke to Weatherly Hill Climb President Joe Seibert, who tells us all about the drivers they have lined up for the race so far.
It's going to be about the same group of drivers that raced here in the spring, so we're hoping to do between maybe 85 and 90 drivers. Like I said, they come from all over the East Coast out to the Midwest, and you have a lot of local, you have a lot of Wilkes-Barre, and you have quite a few people coming from the Pittsburgh area, and we get them from as far down south as South and North Carolina and Virginia.
According to Cybert, the Waverly Hill climb is particularly popular for drivers and their families because of the location.
People just love to come here because they consider this the Poconos, and a lot of the drivers and their families come here 2 or 3 days early, and they go out through Hickory Run, and they go to Boulder Field, and they get down to the outlet stores there in Bartonsville. So that's one thing that's very nice about this event. It brings a lot of business into Weatherly and the surrounding counties. And we're very fortunate to get a lot of help from Carbon County Chamber, Pocono Mountain Visitor Bureau, and Luzerne County.
Cybert also said that many of the same food vendors will be returning. Drivers interested in participating can register right up to the day of the event, but it is recommended to register at least 5 days prior to avoid the $25 late fee. The event is free and open to the public for spectating. The Pennsylvania Department of Transportation met with the Pennsylvania State Police on Wednesday to urge motorists to celebrate responsibly over the Labor Day holiday. During the press conference, PennDOT Executive Deputy Secretary Cheryl Moon Sirianni spoke of the importance of appointing designated drivers.
We urge Pennsylvanians to celebrate the end of summer with a plan. If your celebration includes alcohol, plan ahead for a sober driver. Make plans with a friend, family member, use a rideshare service or public transportation, but never plan to drive impaired. Remember, a designated driver is a person who has had nothing to drink, not the least amount to drink. Designated drivers should take their roles very seriously and not consume alcohol, take drugs, not even one drink, not even one pill, zero. Even a small amount of alcohol or a controlled substance can alter someone's ability to drive safely.
According to PennDOT data, during the 2022 Labor Day weekend, there were 114 alcohol-related crashes that resulted in 6 fatalities and 90 injuries. There were also 27 drug-related crashes that resulted in 2 fatalities and 20 injuries. As part of a national crackdown on impaired driving, the Pennsylvania State Police will be conducting impaired driving enforcement details throughout the state.
The Pennsylvania State Police is dedicated to ensuring the safety of everyone who travels the highways and secondary roads of our Commonwealth. With this comes a zero tolerance for impaired drivers. When we find them, we arrest them.
To learn more about PennDOT's efforts to prevent impaired driving, you can visit their website at penndot.pa.gov/safety. The PA Turnpike is expecting heavy traffic for Labor Day weekend. The Turnpike projects over 2.7 million people will travel the roadway between August 31st and September 4th, which will be a 2.5% increase from last year. The Turnpike also projects to be the busiest on Friday, September 1st, as people depart for the holiday weekend. To help the flow of traffic, all construction on the Turnpike will be suspended until September 3rd. To get a traffic report, you can visit 511pa.com. Agriculture Secretary Russell Redding joined the Pennsylvania Hardwoods Development Council last week to highlight how the 2023-2024 budget will invest in the growth of the forest products industry in Pennsylvania. According to a press release from the Shapiro administration, Pennsylvania has the most abundant hardwood forest in the United States, with nearly 17 million acres of forest land. More than 60,000 Pennsylvanians are employed in the forest products industry, which accounts for about 10% of the state's manufacturing workforce. Shapiro's bipartisan budget, signed earlier this month, will increase funding for hardwood research by more than 50% to support the industry throughout the state. Coming up on Lee Heiden's News Choice, Ryan Prosick is back on Let's Talk Sports. Plus, Chris Fulmer takes us down the path through history with Mountaintop Part 3. And stay right here on WYLN, we'll be right back.
Contact Pete Casalica for a home and auto quote today.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
BLB Auto Sales, a division of Barbush Automotive. BLB has deals that can't be beat. They carry trucks, vans, SUVs, sedans, and sports cars, and all at the lowest prices. Barbush Automotive can handle all vehicle repairs since they do it all. Check out their specials: oil change and filter, just $19.95. Alignment, $49.95. Professional and good people. Call 570-454-7571.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialist, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600. WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online. There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information. Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35.
Welcome back to a Thursday edition of Let's Talk Sports, where we'll be previewing the AFC South tonight, which was lackluster this past season, and I do not expect that to change outside of the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Texans and Colts have a rookie quarterback leading the charge, and the Titans, well, they're not the best this division's seen, so it looks like this division is...
Heisler's Cloverleaf Dairy is now open at 743 Catawissa Road in Tamaqua. Stop by the Dairy Bar, try over 33 flavors of homemade ice cream still made on the premises, and a full menu of hot food made to order. Have some fun at their driving range, or play mini golf on their 2 18-hole mini golf courses. Heisler's Cloverleaf Dairy, celebrating 65 years. Same great taste, same great location, same great memories to be made.
Welcome back to a Thursday edition of Let's Talk Sports, where we'll be previewing the AFC South tonight, which was lackluster this past season, and I do not expect that to change outside of the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Texans and Colts have a rookie quarterback leading the charge, and the Titans, well, they're not the best this division's seen, so it looks like this division is the Jaguars to lose, and I expect it to stay that way for the foreseeable future, unless that is, of course, one of these rookie quarterbacks hit their ceiling quicker than expected. So let's dive right into last place. And oh, would you look at that? The Indianapolis Colts. Funny to see them here. It is really not, but when you're likely the second biggest laughingstock in the league behind the Cardinals, it really does say something about your organization. They have done everything wrong since drafting Andrew Luck, or not since drafting Andrew Luck, that was the only right thing they did. Since he retired, they did everything wrong. But can we talk about that Chris Ballard press conference? What in the world was that? Saying not having running back did not stunt Andrew Luck's development? Did Chris Ballard just forget that Andrew Luck was one of the best quarterback prospects ever when he came out of Stanford? And that the franchise mishandling his offensive line was likely part of the reason he retired early in the first place? Chris Ballard might be the worst general manager in the league with the stuff that comes out of his mouth, saying in 2022 that we addressed wide receiver, now our offensive line is slacking. It wasn't exactly that. There were some words I can't say, but my guy Chris Ballard, your offensive line was the highest paid unit in the league in 2022. You said this quote, I can't believe it. A terrible owner, a terrible general manager. I am honestly sad what this all means for Anthony Richardson. Hopefully these two guys don't stunt his growth, but it looks like they will. Nice one, Chris Ballard. Anyway, enough with the rant.
F&L Doors, your trusted overhead door supplier. For over 50 years, providing quality products and service to Eastern PA and beyond with 2 strategic locations. They carry top brand manufacturers and guarantee parts and service for your home or business. From new construction to replacement doors, inspections and service calls. F&L Doors stands behind every job, taking pride in the work they do. Call 800-344-DOOR. Visit F&L Doors online at fldoors.com or visit their showrooms in Hazel Township and Schuylkill Haven.
Hi folks, this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, Sue Midikavich had migraines, back pain, even neck surgery. Let's see how chiropractic made her happy again.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Are you looking for the latest local news and events important to our Hispanic community? WYLN will keep you up to date on what's happening, from breaking news to special reports and local events, on our new daily Spanish language webcast, WYLN's Telediario, featuring me, Julia Wiegand. Follow our social media pages and website at WYLNTV.com every day to access WYLN's Telediario webcast. WYLN, we're your local network.
Apart from the resort areas, the early part of the 20th century was mainly quiet at Mountain Top. Construction on what would eventually become Route 309 would begin in 1908. In 1911, the upstart Wilkes-Barre and Hazleton Railway would attempt to copy the Lehigh Valley Railroad's playbook by opening the Blytheburn Plain community alongside its tracks, featuring many of the amenities found at the Glen Summit Hotel. It also opened alongside its tracks Graysdale Park Picnic Grove. The park, which occasionally also featured portable children's rides in the summer months, would operate until the 1960s, and the area would suffer a notable industrial disaster in 1916 when Fairview Township's DuPont powder mill would explode. Eventually, the Great Depression hit in the 30s, throwing ordinary life into chaos for many. In those trying times, any diversion from the economic misery was welcome. On the shores of Lake New Angola, acting became one diversion for locals during the summer months, when the Grove Theater opened in 1934 with a production of the play Elizabeth Steps Out. It would for a quarter century be a local landmark playhouse and provide the first professional lead acting experience for a young actor then named Izzy Dembski, who performed in 9 plays there for 18 weeks in 1941. He would shortly thereafter change his name to Kirk Douglas and go on to have a legendary career. Other legends, or soon-to-be legends, who would grace the Grove stage over the years would include Buster Keaton and Joseph Cotton, as well as eventual playwright Gene Kerr. The Grove's curtain would come down in 1959 when the theater was sold to the Diocese of Scranton, who converted the building into a church. The newly rechristened St. Anne's would serve the New Angola area for the next few decades, until a priest shortage brought down its curtain as well. The circle then completed itself, as the New Angola Lake Association and the New Angola Fire Department purchased the building in 2001 with the intention of restoring it to a working theater. 6 years later, in 2007, the theater would reopen to the public, and today once again offers entertainment to those that enter its doors. After World War II, economic expansion returned in full force to the mountaintop area. It would, for example, be the site of one of northeastern Pennsylvania's very first drive-ins, the Sunset Drive-In, which opened for business in 1947, 2 years before Freeland's Popular Drive-In and 3 years before Hazleton's Laurel Drive-In. The Sunset, however, would prove much less successful than these later movie houses, closing for good in 1957 after just 10 years of operation. Its site currently is the location of Weiss's mountaintop location.
Earlier today, it has been reported to Wyln News that several area newspapers have been sold. Times Shamrock Communications newspaper group, which includes the Times Tribune, the Citizen's Voice, the Republican Herald, and the Standard Speaker, has been sold to the Colorado-based Media News Group as of today, August 31st. The sale also includes the company's weekly and periodic publications, commercial printing operations, Absolute Distribution Incorporated, and Times Shamrock Creative Services. However, the sale excludes billboard businesses, Times Shamrock Radio, and the Scranton Times building. We spoke with board chair of Times Shamrock, William Goodspeed, who said the transaction did not occur overnight.
This is a very complicated transaction because of all the different, not only all the different newspapers, but the property, real estate, the printing press, and all that. So there was a lot involved. So it took quite a number of months. As you probably know, newspaper industry has been suffering. Even the big, huge papers are having trouble. And they've developed a management model that allows newspapers to survive, and so that's probably why they're buying papers when a lot of people are selling papers.
In a Facebook post, Times Shamrock shareholder Sharon Lynette expressed her disappointment with the sale of the company by saying, quote, "We feel it is important to express our personal dissatisfaction with the sale of Times Shamrock Newspaper and Media News Group, a subsidiary of Alden Capital. This was a transaction we do not support or endorse. Alden does not reflect the business principles we feel are consistent with the stewardship of any newspaper." We reached out to each of the 4 local newspapers impacted by the sale. The Republican Herald declined comment. The Times Tribune and Citizen's Voice directed our Wyln journalist to Goodspeed. The Standard Speaker directed our journalist to CEO Jim Lewandowski, whose office also directed us to Goodspeed. When we asked Goodspeed about how the sale will affect the local newspapers, he said that it would be up to the new owners. There will be more information as this story develops. For Wyln News, I'm Ryan Prosick. And that does it for the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest news and updates on our YouTube, Facebook, or at our website at wylntv.com. Stay with us for a look at the weather.
You're watching WYLN TV 35.
Welcome to the 2023 season premiere of Sports Talk, your weekly source for Hazleton Area High School football here on WYLN And as always, it's brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. I'm Marty Burns, and I'll be joined again this season by Hazelton area head football coach Dennis Bookman. This week we'll have a special guest from the Cougar football team, a special segment that is new to the show called Time Out, and we'll look back at the Pittston area victory and a look ahead to Wallenpaugh Pack. That's all this week on Sports Talk.
Sports Talk is presented in cooperation with Lehigh Valley Health Network, Hazelton.
Getting to the finish line starts with Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, the region's leader in sports medicine. Our specialists use the most advanced technology for faster, better results, so elite and everyday athletes can compete like champions once again. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Your health deserves a partner.
F&L Doors, your trusted overhead door supplier, for over 50 years providing quality products and service to Eastern PA and beyond with 2 strategic locations. They carry top brand manufacturers and guarantee parts and service for your home or business. From new construction to replacement doors, inspections and service calls, F&L Doors stands behind every job, taking pride in the work they do. Call 800-344-DOOR, visit F&L Doors online at fldoors.com, or visit their showrooms in Hazel Township and Schuylkill Haven.